Justyna, and she is going to talk about very young learners. So over to you. Enjoy your 15 minutes, and I'll see you the other side.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Thank you. Okay, hello everybody. I'm calling from IH San Sebastian in Spain. So today I would like to share a few exercises which worked really well with my very young learners. My students are 4 and 5 years old. And I would like to concentrate on grammar in particular. So if we have a look at the description of who the young learners, very young learners are, you will spot that they learn best by multisensory materials. And this is something challenging for us teachers while we are giving classes online. So here was the question for me. So what shall I do? How can I, what can I replace it with? So basically I try to think of a selection of activities which would include an element of surprise, prediction, guessing, discovering, finding a missing element, finding an odd or different element. So something for them which would be as engaging as playing with multisensory materials. So
Justyna, can I interrupt for a second? Can you just put your PowerPoint into present mode?
Yep, sure.
It'll make it easier for everyone to see.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yes.
Perfect, thank you.
My typical lesson would start with routine, the same routine I've had since September, so my students know how to follow it. This is really how they tell the time as well. So they know how much time we dedicate to routines, how much time we would dedicate to something new during the lesson, and then also the tidying up or finishing song. So after we've taken the register together with the students, when they would say, hello, Justyna, I'm here. So that would be a way for them as well to say hello to everybody. We would sing a hello song. And then after the song, I would ask them about their emotions, how they were feeling. So I'm using lots of emoticons like that. And this is also for those students who are feeling a bit shy or not in a good mood on a specific day, because the little ones are usually really moody. So I would ask them, how are you feeling today? Are you hungry? Are you hot? Are you thirsty? And this helps me quite a lot to prompt their vocabulary. Then we would go into revision of colors, numbers. So this is where I would use a typical flashcard game. So now you see it, now you don't. So camera in this case is my very useful tool. So I would be using camera and asking them, what color can you see? What number do you think it is? Doing it slowly or faster. Nominating people. So an echo, what color is it? What number can you see? And things like that. Later on, we would go to the weather description. And this is also a nice way for them to stand up, because they will need to stand up. You know, their attention span is so short, and they cannot sit still for a long time, even if they are with their parents or without their parents. So I'm trying to take an opportunity to think of activities where they could stand and do something and also produce some English. So for the weather song, that will be practicing the weather, the rain, sunny, it's sunny today. And then I would ask them to stand up, go to the window, look outside, what you see. After they tell me, they describe the weather, we would go back to our checklist. So checklist would be really for me to help me see if they are ready for the class. And I would be asking them, are you ready? Yes, I am. Have you got your pencil? Yes, I have. Can I see it? So they would be pointing their pencil at the camera. Have you got crayons? Yes, I have. Can I see them? They will be showing them to them. And later on, since my students didn't have time to take their books home before the lockdown in Spain, basically I'm asking them to prepare a piece of paper. So have you got a piece of paper? Yes, I have, showing at the camera. Based on this checklist, I could go to a next guessing game, a very simple guessing game. So PowerPoint, in my opinion, is a wonderful tool for the little ones, because they can't read or write. They can't use chat box, they can't ask questions, they can't press buttons. So really images would be the only way for me. So using the checklist I have, I created the activity, what's missing. So look, 5 seconds, close your eyes, open your eyes, what's missing, and so on. Then, as I said, we could refer to the weather again. So are you hot? Are you cold? So changing activities. Next, we would go into a monster. They really love monsters. And also they took one home. So that was my last lesson. I asked them to hang it on the wall and speak to the monster in English every day. And actually they point at the monster during my Zoom classes. So that's fantastic. And then feeding the monster the same as in class. So I managed to take some materials from school that will be plastic food. And then they have a conversation. Hello, monster, how are you today? And I usually say, I'm hungry. And they already know grammar. So do you like? And I point at food. So first guessing, what do you think that is? And then they would shout broccoli. And then they would ask the monster, monster, do you like broccoli? And then I go, yes, I do. It's yummy. And then again, guessing, what do you think that is? And then they would shout, because they can't get quiet at this time, they would shout carrots. So then I would nominate a person. So an echo. And an echo would say, monster, do you like carrots? And then I go, yes, I do. Carrots are delicious. And so on. So that will be my way of including multisensory materials in a digital world. After that, we would go to the topic of food again. And that was an idea which I had used with my FC preparation classes, modal verbs of deduction. And they worked really, really well with the little ones. So after recycling, revising the words of food, I would ask them what they thought they saw on the screen. They would be shouting again, so an orange, lemon, and so on. And then to check if they were right, I would give them the correct answers. And another one as well. As you can see, they are divided by colors on purpose, because I do a lot of scaffolding in my lessons, and so on. So prompting, eliciting, the same. What do you think number one is? What do you think number two is? And so on. And then we would go to categorizing, which is a lovely activity. They are really good at it. This is something what they do at school as well. So that will be a way for me to teach them the structure. So the first sentence, really, because at the beginning of the course, they weren't able to say two words in a sentence or per chunk. But now they are getting better. So now they are able to say, apple is red, kiwi is green, banana is yellow. So the answer they give me, I try to move the piece of fruit or a vegetable into a correct column, and later we correct the answers. Another categorizing activity would be also dividing them according to the family, the word family. So is it a vegetable or is it a piece of fruit? And then they would go, banana is a piece of fruit or fruit. They may not be able to pronounce a piece of fruit. Pepper is a vegetable, and they manage that without a problem. Another activity would be the same, them discovering something, playing with colors. This is this actual slide would be for 6-year-olds, because they recognize the spelling of basic words. But for the 4- and 5-year-olds, it works really well anyway, because they see the color. They can't see the word is abstract for them, but they can see the color. So I asked them to prepare crayons, a piece of paper, and I asked them to mix both colors. Can you mix red and blue? So it takes them a while, but they are able to come up with the color, which is actually true in those painting or art activities. And then you've got a lot of combinations. You can look for more ideas on the internet as well. And then for those who are not able to see those colors, because of course they get frustrated, that's a characteristic of the little ones, they change their moods from happy into angry, frustrated, and so on. So a nice follow-up would be the song on YouTube, which is actually showing them how these color mix. And little by little, they might be doing or mixing the colors using the images from the song, but I don't mind it. That's the way for them to see how colors work and so on. The same activity would be to show them clearly. So it's a shame we can't use a magnifying glass, but if I could, I would be using that, or a microscope. That would be a wonderful tool. But yeah, that's another way for them to see it clearly. So if we mix black and white, what do you see? If we mix blue and red, what do you see? And that's really interesting for them as well, and they usually participate. Another activity would be, another activity for me to teach longer chunks would be a tool called Storybird, storybird.com. It's a tool where you can type any chant or a short story that you had written, or maybe you had adapted. If you adapt an original story, it has to be changed quite a lot, otherwise there could be some copyright issues. So basically this is a page from my book. I've added about 12 animals, and we had done it in class as well, so they know it by heart. And of course I would add some rhythm, so students would listen, repeat after me, look at the picture, look at some characteristics of the animal, and the chant would go like this: walking in the zoo, walking in the zoo. What can I see? What can I see? A tall, tall giraffe, a tall, tall giraffe, looking at me, looking at me. And then another slide would be a monkey, and the monkey is holding a banana, so that will be the same: walking in the zoo, walking in the zoo. What can I see? What can I see? A hungry, hungry monkey, a hungry, hungry monkey, looking at me. So after a couple of pages, it sticks to their brain and they remember it very well. So basically I'm trying to teach adjectives subconsciously, longer chunks as well of language. Another wonderful tool is a snipping tool, which is on every PC, every computer. So I don't know how many of you have used it. I've used it for all the levels really. And the main source of the songs for the little ones is Super Simple Songs, Super Simple Learning. So I believe that's the best way to teach grammar, using images from the songs themselves. And of course, this song is about can you fly, can you climb, can you stop, can you run, and so on. So from the moment they memorize the song, because they pick up the song very quickly. After you play it twice or 3 times, they know the song, but they may not know the function of the language really well. So cutting up images, adding positive, negative. So can the bird clap? And they go, no, I can't. Well, they repeat the lyrics from the song, but that's fine because they are guessing the context. Can the bird fly? Yes, I can. Another guessing activity which students love, absolutely love, is this song. It's about 5 minutes long, so you can divide it or split it between classes. And an invisible person is drawing animals using chalk. And of course, there is an element of surprise because it takes about 10 seconds per animal, and they usually shout, "It's a cat, it's a fox, it's a dog," and so on. And then on YouTube, there are 4 other songs which are teaching grammar nicely with the same guessing element. So the songs are called "What Is It?" or "What Are They?" And that's the same idea. As you can see, part of the image is blurred, so you can pause the song. What can you see? What is it? And you can teach them, is it a dog or it's a dog, depending on the age of your students. Another wonderful idea would be to practice has got, so body parts apart from head and shoulders song and so on. I would be describing a monster. My monster has got 2 eyes, a big mouth, 7 teeth, and a blue body. And they shout. Number 5. So after about 5 lessons, they are able to give the description themselves. So they repeat after me. My monster has got 4 eyes, a green body, and so on. And that's it. Thank you for listening. I didn't want to use too much of your time, so.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Justyna.
Thank
really
you.
Lovely. Lots of compliments about your monster.
Thank you. Thank you.
We've also got some questions in the Q&A box that maybe we could answer very quickly. Karaman's asking whether you alternate between stirrers and settlers like you would in a face-to-face class.
My ideas were basically the same, which I had used in a normal classroom as well. So I usually try to have a combination of stir and settlers, of course, but they cannot sit for too long anyway. So I don't tend to use many settling activities. So maybe drawing or matching worksheet, that would be it. But apart from that, I try to have them engaged. I try to prompt pair work mainly. So nominating people. Can you ask your friend how he's feeling? Can you ask your friend about the monster? Can you ask your friend if he likes bananas? Things like that.
Okay. And what about if Carissa is asking, what if they shout before being asked? How do you control them, basically?
So yes, I had told them to raise their hand. So they keep on putting their hand up and shouting. And then this is when I would mute them as well. Yeah.
Okay. And Lydia said, how do you snip the images? I'm not sure.
So if you go to any computers, well, in my case, my computer is in Spanish, so the snipping tool in Spanish is called Recortes, and it's there, it's within the computer, and just go to any song, and it's similar to a screenshot, really. Similar what we do with the mobile phone, and this is more or less how it works. Then you can cut it nicely, so all the dark or ugly edges can go off. And then you just save it on the computer and then use it as an image in a PowerPoint presentation.
Great. And are the parents always present when you have your VYL lessons?
Not in my group, yes. We had, well, I had participated in a few sessions on IH platform as well, and I am always insisting on them being independent. So even in the classroom, I ask them to hang their coats, I ask them to tidy up themselves. And the same in the Zoom classroom, I ask them to be sitting on their own. Well, their parents probably are watching, I'm aware of that, but I ask them to be as independent as possible. And this is why I prepare those activities where they can do things without anybody helping them. That's why I don't use writing or reading, right? Because they can't do it.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. All right, we'll say goodbye to you now, but thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.